defense briefly questioned Ventura about whether it was possible for Austin to have impaled himself. I'm gonna say it again. The defense briefly questioned Ventura about whether it was possible for Austin to have impaled himself on Carmelo's knife when he pushed Carmelo. On redirect, Ventura explained that this impaling scenario is 1 in 1,000, and that because of the depth of the wound is shorter than its length, it's unlikely. I get it. Now, listen. I understand everybody's quick reaction to hearing that. The defense's job is to find any way possible to make it seem like Carmelo acted in self-defense. However, to have a medical exam, I get maybe questioning like a witness who was there. I get that. But to bring the medical examiner up onto the stand and get them to testify about what their job is to do. By the way, there were like the weird subsection of people who were talking as if there might have been something hidden there in the autopsy of Austin Metcalf. But when we get to this point, and we have the medical examiner detailing what they had to go through in order to reach their conclusion, showing photos of evidence, why are you as the defense thinking that it's great to think about a possibility of Austin impaling himself? Why? Like, I feel like there might have been better ways. Like, call me the cynical motherfucker. I feel as though there may have been better ways to try to get the medical examiner to say something else. This is just dumb. It just is. Also, appreciate you following on YouTube. Appreciate the gifted sub. But, oh, but you know what? You know what we need in this time? You know what would work out real great in this time for everybody? Witchcraft. If you don't mind, if you don't mind me pulling up this very stupid fucking moment in time, I would just like to show you all witchcraft! Because that's needed.
Now she must go. Because you are the one who's agitated.
Motherfuckers just sitting around playing in the dirt. And I'm gonna be viewed as the bad guy if I sit here and just wait and just recant all of the notes that need to be brought out to the public. And listen, it's Saturday. Let's pie in the sky it right now. Let's pie in the sky it. Let's say, for the
how am I
fuck of it,
supposed to jump off of all of this information?
he's officially found not guilty. These motherfuckers will sit here and say, but we had all this information. And their information consists of a made-up weapon, a made-up narrative, all of which got debunked within 2 days, now a third day, and just sitting outside crying racism. Crying how it's unfair. We'll get to that. Don't you worry, my sweet Aunt Sally. We shall get to that. But this is the type of stupid shit. And guess what? For the people that are strongly believing in the not guilty, let's say he's found not guilty. And these motherfuckers are gonna be hooting and hollering and talk about something. How the fuck was he found not guilty? Because somewhere in this, the defense weaseled their way around these witnesses and created enough reasonable expectation, doubt, whatever the phrasing is, to say that Carmelo acted in self-defense. But all of that will be ignored. That's why I'm doing the fucking community notes thing. That's why. Say what you want. Like genuinely, say what you want, but I don't give a fuck. You know why I don't give a fuck? It's because we gotta reach a conclusion. And a conclusion is gonna make some people happy and some people very upset. That's why I'm fucking putting in these long ass fucking. This is all one thing. Don't start that sharpening clean shit. This is day 2's. And guess what? These could be videos, but I don't want to. I don't want to come back every fucking 2 hours with Oh look, this was day one's. Long, meaty, with substance. I think the only one about this shit was short was when they tried to go for the direct verdict. Which is essentially just saying, fuck the jury, get this shit over with. Because the defense, believed that the prosecution didn't bring up enough evidence to prove that he didn't act in self-defense. And the judge shot it down. So we're still going. It might, maybe, have ended today. But instead, it's gonna keep going. They're going to Monday. And who knows? Maybe by Monday, they'll comb through all their fucking witnesses, the defense, because the prosecution's done. The prosecution, they're done. They rested their case after the medical examiner. So now it's on the defense. The defense has got to pull a rabbit out the hat. And honestly, I don't know if they got it. Who knows? Because they only just started calling their witnesses today. So who knows what Monday's gonna bring. But my personal thoughts, I told you motherfuckers the defense would try, and try they did. It seemed a little dicey when they tried to go for the direct verdict, but that got denied. So their best bet is to convince a jury with these witnesses that Carmelo feared for his safety. That's their best bet. You don't have to fucking like their attempt, but they're going to try. You nor I can do a fucking thing about it. Their job is to try. They can't. I'm sorry, but court is boring. They can't just go in and be like, well, fuck, we give up. They have to try. And if they try and succeed, then guess what? Their attempts work. But if they just so happen to try and fail, well, fuck. Now, let's go in a stupid direction. Because at some point throughout all of this, of course, I love the live setting. The live setting is where we're going to pay attention to the shit outside. In my videos, I'm not going to give a fuck unless it's to make fun of these motherfuckers. But here we are.
Okay. No. Your president.
What the fuck is a your turn?
Now, let me ask everybody a question. This is a small question. What does Trump have to do with any of this? Trump is not a factor here. I'm sorry. Lee, listen, I get that people got a hate boner for this dude. I get that there's people that really like sucking Trump's dick. Trump got nothing to do with this. Leave him out of it. Please, I'm begging.
What color is your blood? What color is your blood? It's red, right?
The Epstein files.
No.
Then y'all don't want to speak
your
about.
Your blood is red like mine.
You feel me? The Epstein files. The thing y'all don't want to speak
I don't give a
about.
fuck.
The
We're not in
Epstein
your race,
files.
so
The
that
thing
backup
y'all
shit
don't want to
don't
speak
work.
about.
Trump is busy getting his back blown by Netanyahu.
He could only have gotten that idea from Benjamin Netanyahu. That's it.
I didn't know
The Epstein files. The thing you don't want to.
Also appreciate the sub with the prime, and also appreciate the gift.
I knew that in
The
your
Epstein
fucking
files. The thing you don't want to speak about. The Epstein files. The thing you don't want to speak about.
Yeah, I would just like to point out to everybody that in a time where you need to actually believe that the defense could help Carmelo Anthony, why in the fuck do y'all care about the Epstein files in a situation that has nothing to do with the Epstein files? Like, come on. Let's be real. Let's be frank. Let's be coy. Let's be direct. In what world does it matter the Epstein files here? Now, I get it. Now, before somebody tried to jump down my throat, every single motherfucker tied to Epstein needs to be in jail. The problem that I and you have is that none of these motherfuckers are going. We all know it. We all know none of these motherfuckers going to jail. There will be no significant punishment for any of these motherfuckers tied to Epstein. We all know it. Why is this being brought up?
The Epstein files. The thing you don't want to speak about. Let's talk about the director. Let's talk about the fact that for 400 years y'all have a president. What are you talking about? Why would I listen to you?
Why is there one person talking about Epstein, and why is another person right there talking about we are all bleeding red, we are one? Conflicting.
Why would I listen? Your voice. Bro, I'm not trying to have a conversation with you. You got a camera in your face. You hear me?
I mean, hello, PIMDAS, like, you have a phone, which also has a camera.
Y'all, I walked over here, y'all had cameras up. you.
I'm more preoccupied with the defense attorney being a pedo defender. Move to the side, bro. Nobody's dealing with you. That's one. Now, let's look at the racism in the court. Continuing our rambles outside of the courtroom, we now have people very upset that they're being banned from the courthouse and thinking that it's some great act of prejudice against them for being a black journalist.
They have kicked me out of the courthouse, said that I could come back tomorrow.
Stop. You could come back tomorrow and try again. Why are you getting on camera to complain?
Which is a violation of my constitutional rights. And let me give you.
No, it isn't.
Let me read to y'all what the law says. Okay. Let me pull this up, and then I'm gonna let sis talk. Okay. Let me pull this up. Let me see.
Great introspective conversation going on. I understand that you have been very discriminated against. Now, could you hurry up?
Courthouses are public buildings. Y'all see that email that I put up there? That's the courtroom that we're in, and that's how you get in contact with the judge. Can y'all please send an email, flood their email right now. Carmelo Anthony needs real black independent media inside the courtroom.
He needs his defense attorney to actually do his job. He does not need you. You are nothing more than a distraction. You are proving my point that you are a distraction by demanding people, I guess, on Instagram or TikTok Live to flood the email of the judge, which might I possibly remind all of you is just one of the many reasons this damn trial is on lockdown. So again, I know there's a few people that scoffed at me because I said it. Blame somebody like this for the reason you're not being able to see this on Court TV or the Law and Crime Network, because this fool is just another example.
And I have been here, and I have been in place in line to get in there to cover this case, and they don't like my coverage because the way that they treated me over me telling this black officer, going back up there, massa, and then they trying to make it seem like I call him. I'm like, oh, you want to add on stuff? Even if I called you a coon, it's still my constitutional rights, and you cannot ban me from a public courthouse. Okay? The public and press have a right to assess them for open court proceedings. Okay? Trials like the one that I am covering. Collin County Courthouse, you have all that stuff. Hold on, let me.
Wait, what's all that stuff? What's all that stuff? You mean to tell me about the restrictions and the tightness of the media access and the security rules? You talking about that? You trying to brush over that? You trying to make it seem like that's not important here? You trying to make it seem like that's not something to bring up? I'll bring it up. According to the order, the courtroom will open daily at 8:30 a.m. with staggered entry. Media at 8:30, family at 8:40, and the public at 8:50. So I'm gonna make an assumption about you. I'll make a small assumption, not a big one, just a small one. You're not anyone with a credential. So you would be a part of the public. So you would be in that category of fitting in where maybe you could get in at 8:50. That's my assumption. You are not capable of understanding that because maybe you're not paying attention to what's going on. The judge was scrutinized for this, but I think it's a great job. Why? Because of people like this and how antsy they are to make it a bigger scene than what it needs to be. But I'm gonna keep reading. The doors will close at 9 a.m. with no late entry until recess. Only 9 media members may be inside the courtroom at one time, and the Collin County Public Information Office will control all credentialing and seating. Photography, video, audio recording, live streaming, and any electronic capture of proceedings will be prohibited. Devices may be used only for silent note-taking with court approval. No one may photograph, record, identify, or contact witnesses, prospective witnesses, jurors, or prospective jurors. Interviews with them are barred until after the trial and only if they agree. Media interviews are banned inside the courtroom, hallways, and restricted areas. Interviews must occur only in designated zones coordinated through the county PIO. Strict decorum rules apply. No reactions, no gestures, talking, unrelated reading, food, drink, distracting attire. No signs of demonstrative materials are allowed. Only authorized individuals may enter the area beyond the bar, including counsel, parties, court staff, law enforcement, witnesses, and jurors. All attendees must pass security screening and additional measures may be implemented. Congregating in the hallways or blocking courthouse operations is prohibited. Trial exhibits will not be released to the public or media until trial concludes. Violations may result in immediate removal, loss of media credentials, or contempt sanctions without warning. So, class, what do you think he might have violated? Now, let's just be guessing. I feel as though maybe he might have tried to sneak a phone in. Maybe. But who knows?
Let me do this.
Yeah, great job. Wrap it up.
Any ban or exclusion must generally be content neutral and serve a legitimate purpose, safety, order, or court function. A viewpoint discrimination, which means punishing my speech because officials does not like the message or the speaker, is presumptively unconstitutional under the First Amendment. Public buildings are not places where government can silence criticism at will. I have the same access rights as the public, and all that stuff.
My take is that you're not a good public speaker. Also, while you do have your First Amendment right, when a judge sets a nice amount of rules for everybody, you must follow them. And if you break one of them, guess what? You're out of there. It's just that simple.
You cannot ban somebody. Like, I want to go file a lawsuit right now.
Oh, please.
And if I go up there to try to file a lawsuit against them, they're going to probably try to arrest me. And I'm not.
Because they kicked you out of the courthouse. So I'm assuming if you go back, you're probably going to face a punishment. So it would be smart of you not to and come back tomorrow, like you said.
About to go to jail. So I need y'all to blow that line up to them. Email them, call the Collin County Courthouse and say, y'all know y'all are breaking the law. You cannot ban journalists or anybody public. This is how people get justice.
This is not how people get justice. You know how they get justice is going through that court system. And while, yes, I think we can all agree that court system and that justice system is very finicky, and some people get no punishments, some people get extreme punishments, you need to follow the proceedings and the rules of the courtroom. The courtroom is not the dance club. It's not the LGBTQ Pride Month. It's not the opportunity for you to be loud and bombastic. You have to be silent in the courtroom. Because when you step in there, you're following the rules of who? The judge. And when the judge, as I stated, sets up all these rules and you could agree or disagree with them, that's the judge's rules for that court proceeding. And it's going to stick. You can cry, bitch, moan, complain. It sticks for a reason. It's because dumbasses are going to try to make it more of a spectacle. Dumbasses are going to try to get to the witnesses, probably interview witnesses, interview jury members, shit that you're not supposed to be doing until it's over. But because rules are something you feel as though you are perfectly inclined to break, you were kicked out of the courtroom. So if you go back, you may get kicked out again. You may get kicked out a second time and it'll be nobody's fault but your own. But you're crying foul, you're crying discrimination, you're acting as if no one wants to amplify black voices. And I need to make this clear. For anybody who is on the side of Carmelo Anthony and you want him found innocent and you think right now it's being very unfair to him, I implore you to go through all of these, pick any websites you want, because I know y'all like to be finicky with your media and everybody's liberal or conservative or racist or don't care about this. Pick any media you want and go through their updates about what's going on in the courtroom, and you will find that this dude is not being treated unfairly. They're bringing in witnesses, they're talking with these witnesses, they're cross-examining these witnesses, and the defense, as is their job, is trying to find moments that they could pick apart to make it seem like Carmelo acted in self-defense. And right now, because it's Saturday, they're on recess till Monday. And on Monday, the defense is probably going to continue what they were doing today, pulling in their own witnesses to try to help Carmelo Anthony. And it'll be up to the prosecution to cross-examine the defense's witnesses and say, do you think that this is a smart idea to stab somebody? And it's at that point, it's going to be up to the decision of the jury. But because that's lost on people and they want to try so fucking hard to just immediately dismiss court proceedings, this is what you have. people fighting tooth and nail to make it seem like there's this grand conspiracy. They have for 3 straight days been destroyed on the cleat sharpener narrative. They for 3 straight days have been destroyed on the concept of Carmelo Anthony being jumped. And when the defense started bringing in their own guy, which was Carmelo's track coach said that Carmelo shouldn't even been under the fucking tent. He should have been warming up on the field. So, please, when we're carrying on this weird gimmick of they're trying to make sure Carmelo goes to jail, please pick whoever you want to read up on and find out how unfair he's being treated, because you're gonna find out, that's not really a strong case. But continue with your zesty allegations.
They're gonna tell me I need to go file a complaint. You know, what do you say to kick you? What do you say kick you? This is what I told him. They sent him back there to try to keep black people under control. And Bristow was like, oh, Lord. He sent somebody else back there. Everybody was like, we don't want to hear that. And I was like, yeah, master, you work on that. So, but he went on about his business. He didn't say, let me talk to you then. He didn't pull me out the line or nothing. He sent Elena back there to say he wanted to talk to me. So I told her, I don't want to talk to you. When we get ready to go in the building, he looked at me and said, because he's holding the door, if you act like that tomorrow, you are banned.
It's been the same old back on my block. You either working or you slanging cocaine on my block. You had to hustle. That's how we was raised on my block. And you stayed on your hop until you made you a nut on my block.
Responding with your catty ass attitude and expecting to just continue to be allowed in. And guess what? When they got these strict ass fucking rules and they ship you out, you know what your happy ass did? You went right outside, propped your phone up with your nice little lighting, and got on there and started bitching.
And even when it was storming outside, the nigga be by us. Dog on my block, I ain't had to play the big shot.
Great job.
Niggas knew me back when I was stealing beer from Shamrock, and my nickname was Creepy. The black Jew
it's been known since the event happened that Carmelo wasn't supposed to be in another school's tent. Listen, good sir or madam. And I'm trying to be relaxed about this, because my aggravation is not towards anybody in this fucking stream unless you choose to be stupid. And I'm not saying you're choosing to be stupid. I'm just answering you honestly. They needed to go through court proceedings. I get that motherfuckers got their own like bets put in, but they needed to go through these court proceedings. Where is the coach? I need the coach again. When we sit here and talk about what needs to be stated and what needs not to be stated, this motherfucker definitely should have just been on the fucking And this coach brings up that there was none until after. I wonder why. There was no need, or not even need, wrong word.
How's my dick supposed to jump off all of this information you just gave me?
There was no need for any of this shit, because usually they just sit under the fucking tents. They all talk to each other. You're all alone now! It's common shit. Now, for Centennial High, that changed. Why? Because the motherfucker got stabbed. The motherfucker got stabbed, so they immediately needed to do something a little bit different. They needed to do something a little bit different. And because it would have been a fucking problem. And the problem stems from people not following their own protocol. Finally caught a stream. Hello, Starry Nova. Fuck, hello to everybody. I know I'm doing these primarily off the cuff, but I appreciate whoever bothers to watch this shit. It's good. It's a good time. It's good time. It's good feeling. It's good energy. Even when I'm fucking aggravated. Even when I'm fucking aggravated. Where's the one piece that really excited me? Because there was a conversation about needing to be on the field. That needing to be on the field with the cleat sharpener theories. The cleat sharpener.
Black folk want to engage in radical activist language in this fucking chat? Suck my fucking cock.
The cleat sharpener thing was just motherfuckers trying to grasp at straws. It wasn't a knife, it was this. He still used it to kill somebody. So even if that thing was real, he still used it to kill somebody. Can we get late night Leon again? Maybe Monday, depending on how I feel. Can you summarize your response? They have to go through these court proceedings. I get that you're excited to say it was already something everybody knew, but they needed that said in court. They needed that shit said in court. It just needed to be said. It shouldn't have been. I mean, fuck. It needed to be said in court. If you don't say the shit in court, it's a problem. If you don't bring it up in court, it's not used in court. Guess what? You have a coach who says he should have been on the field. Now, maybe it's because of the rain that he wasn't, and that's an easy fucking thing to say. But if a coach is sitting here with the mindset of you should be warming up despite the rain, I guess he don't care. In fact, I heard it was a pair of scissors. I get it. Motherfucking controls and nines. Fucking maybe the real true sharpener was freshly made along the way. Where's the one that was dressed up as Eddie? I think this. The defense calls former student Centennial Hall and told the jury that he would be attending college. He was testified that he lived in Frisco since he said he knew Carmelo and called him Mello. It's a friend. This is not Eddie. The witness said they ran track and played football together. Then he went on to explain the culture difference between the two sports. The defense is trying to establish that track is super chill. We're hanging around a lot at that time. The friend is tense. I assume he loved him. Back when that sparked me realizing that this might be this Eddie. Because for the longest time, Eddie was like the main contributor to a lot of these witnesses, saying that, hey, well, it seems like this motherfucker was there, Carmelo was there to talk to somebody, but it was never really clear who it was until somebody brought up the name Eddie, and then they brought up Eddie Pera, so it seemed like, okay, this might be the guy. You going back to the block, you better act wild. You sitting there hopeless under the black clouds. Maybe a little impressive. Do you get the message? I ain't trying to be aggressive. Just a little suggestive. Maybe a little impressive. Do you get the message? I ain't trying to be aggressive. Just a little suggestive. Maybe a little impressive. Do you get the message? I ain't trying to be aggressive. This might be one. Who the hell is hanging out with another school attendant? Again, stated by the fucking coach. It wasn't really any fucking rule like that. And let's not do this really gay ass fucking gimmick where everyone's standing in lockstep and they're all just pointing middle fingers and saying fuck your school and fuck this school. Let's not pretend like motherfuckers wouldn't be cordial with individuals and just chopping the shit before the event at a track meet. This ain't football, this ain't basketball. This is an open ass area where anybody can walk up to you. There's no locker room for the cross country or for a fucking track team. You're out there, broad fucking daylight under tents. It's easy to walk up to somebody. Let's not do this gay shit anymore either. Like, there's no locker room. You're not sectioned off. There's no motherfucker who isn't on anybody's side dictating, everybody you go over there, everybody you go over there. Now, school-wise, a school or a coach could put in a fucking rule, don't go nowhere. When we set up this tent, you under that tent the whole time. And from the Centennial School perspective, that didn't exist until after. And now why after? It's because somebody got stabbed. Leon, how do you know what the setup for track and field is? We know you didn't play sports. Now, while I understand you're sitting there trying your best to troll me for the fuck of it, my attitude towards this is getting to a point where I'ma just get rid of y'all. Like, I'ma just get rid of y'all for this dumb shit. Much like how this judge has a zero tolerance, I'm about to have a zero tolerance. Because I'm getting tired. It's not a third day, motherfucker didn't care.
Definitely right. These older artists, they have nothing left to do but try to stay relevant. And by that, gossip. Talk about whatever is going on in the industry, right outside of the industry. It's actually crazy. He ain't lying about that. We saw it happen, like right in front of our eyes. That's just what it is now. And music, they're using that with those 360 deals. They need these platforms to have these artists beef and all that good stuff rotating around the internet constantly, 24/7.
These dudes have never grown up, and we think that shit's cute. We laugh and joke and pass their material around, but it does nothing for us as a community, and it has never done anything for us, because when the tiny hats tell them to get on their knees and suck it off, they get on their knees and suck it off. This is what DMX came out about. When DMX was hard pressed on exposing the gayness in hip hop, that's what he really wanted to say, but he couldn't put a name to it. Or if he knew the name, he wasn't allowed to say it because it probably meant an ultimate death penalty. Man, it's gone, y'all. Y'all need to just let that go. Y'all need to let all these old school hip hop heads go. All of them go. They have never done anything for our community except make us go at each other and make up some fictional enemy that they're going against when really their enemy are us. You ever notice that? All their hip hop lyrics, all their music are against us. They're against other black folk. It ain't never against the system. It's never against the people who control hip hop or hip hop industry. Not since the days of Michael Jackson. There has never been a real hip hop head that gone against music execs, the music industry, and those who control it. Only Michael Jackson been able to do that. All the rest of these Negroes are scared. And as light in the pants or light in the loafers Michael Jackson was, he had more heart than all these hip hop dudes combined. Go look up the interview when Old Dirty Bastard and Method Man, when they were asked about the future of hip hop or something like that, and ODB said we gotta do what we do, but you know they fooling us. ODB went hard about trying to expose, and Method Man put his head down as if he was ashamed or scared that ODB was talking. Now we know why ODB was sacrificed. He tried to go against the system and awaken people up before it was time for people to be woken up. And Method Man sat over there with his head down, scared, like he didn't want to pick his head up and talk as a man. Y'all forget who raising these dudes. These dudes come from single-parent households. They've been raised by their mamas, their big mamas, their aunties, and their grandmothers, and their sisters. That's who they've been raised by. And you expect manhood and toughness to ever come out of this generation because they can hold a gun and they can sell drugs and poison to our own people? It ain't take nothing to destroy each other.
He is not lying about that. Y'all already know. ODB, that was one of my biggest sacrifice videos when I started YouTube. I know what you're thinking. And that's the truth. That's the truth. There's always gonna be one who's gonna try it. Who's gonna have the balls to actually go against and talk about what is really going on. Try to expose it, like he said. He tried to expose it at a time where it wasn't even meant to be exposed at all. You know what I'm saying? Old Dirty Bastard, it wasn't meant to be exposed at all. And we all remember that interview. Method Man had his head down. He was like, nah, don't come. He was like, nah, I don't want them to come to my door, or whatever he was saying. Like, and they painted him out to just be the crazy one, like the drugs and this and that. Like, it don't matter what he was on. When he was talking that talk, it was the truth. But in order to make that truth look like BS, they throw the he's on drugs narrative out there, and you can't beat it, because when you can't control the media or what the world thinks about you, you're not in charge of putting out these narratives and how people paint you. They can put out a photo or a video of you, on some wild shit and paint that as this is who you are. So when you do talk the truth and you are trying to be serious, no one is going to believe it. Just like what he was saying in the beginning about Drake and Jay-Z, on how Jay-Z chose to respond. His little freestyle at a show could have said anything about Drake, anything about him, but you choose to just say the simple stuff. Even if you think about Kendrick Lamar and him, like trying to say that Drake was a pedo in that song, what is it, Not Like Us, or whatever song that was. It was nothing new. it was already stuff that had been going around. He didn't expose anything. He didn't say anything else ritual-wise or anything like that. That was stuff that people was talking about when Drake kissed the young girl on stage. The Millie Bobby Brown stuff had already been out before that. So it wasn't nothing new. It was just like, oh, Kendrick Lamar dissed him, said he like, you know, girls, young girls. You know, it wasn't nothing new right there. He's right about that. What academics had to say is just 30 seconds about Jay-Z.
Jay-Z just did this shit. Not one person even put up a Instagram post responding. Just don't care. You gotta just be cognizant. It is just no longer his time. I'm sorry to tell you, it's no longer his time. It's the equivalent of Shaq hopping back on the court. It's not your time. I can still give you credit. Now, I still think part of this is because of Drake passing those records.
It's true though. Didn't nobody care about it. It didn't start until like the Plog started picking his freestyle up. There was people at the concert that was just like, huh? But I guess they were still there though. Let's move on to the clips about the people underground in New York. Crazy. If you haven't seen it, check this out, y'all.
And you remember being in the shop?
Correct.
What do you remember about that night?
There were 3 random guys walking around in a strange suit. Opened the sewer, go in like the Ninja Turtles. They went in there. Yeah, it's very odd. I was looking.